Hey guys, what's it going? Welcome back to Steel on Target. I want to keep this video a bit short and to the point. I am off work this week, so I spent some time with family, doing stuff around the house, getting things ready for Thanksgiving. It was my dad's birthday, and it was my birthday yesterday. Turned 36. Yeah. So we're gonna keep it short and to the point. What's new to the car? Now it's going to be two things that I'm excited to show you guys. None are very expensive, but I feel that the car really needs it. And after driving it around, I think it's doing what it's supposed to do, and it feels great. So we have a couple of parts from PLM. The first part is going to be a 3-point front strut tower bar, and the second part is going to be the PLM X bar. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the 3-point bar first. Actually, before I do any of that, I also got the car aligned. I got the front at around 3 degrees negative camber. 0.04 on toe. And on the rear, I have it dialed into negative 2.5 degrees of camber with 0.06 of toe. So the car feels great. So now let's talk about the 3-point front tower bar here. So you can see the PLM 3-point strut bar here. It's a one-piece unit. It's pretty nice. They offer it in raw or black, like you see here. So I opted for the black, but it's pretty straightforward. It's very solid. It fits the car, which is something I was worried about, is fitting the K20 on this EK. I know some bars will hit the valve cover and won't work, but this works nicely. I didn't record the install. It's very simple, straightforward. As long as you know what you're doing, you're gonna want to raise the car off the floor under the nuts. Lower, let the studs come down to about where the nuts right there, so you can slide your 3-point over. Get your bolts. Well, before you do that, there's going to be a couple of plastic caps on the firewall you're going to pop off. So you're going to see threaded holes. You're going to grab, these bolts don't come with it. You're going to have to source them. They were 8 or 10 millimeter. I forgot, but I got a couple in there. You get them, started halfway. You get your bolts there started. Hit it with an impact gun. Bring the car back down and finish. Make sure everything's tight. But you are going to want to get it off the ground and get these studs. Otherwise, you're not going to slide it over, because when there's a load, it does change the position of those studs. But that's pretty straightforward. It's a nice piece. I like it a lot. I don't see really much difference between this, something a lot more expensive. It does the job. It's lightweight, so I'm happy. I'm happy that it fits the car, and I don't have to wide up any holes or do any of that stuff. So this thing right here gets a thumb up from me. And so yeah, check it out. Go grab yourself one. I like it. So now we're gonna talk about the Multiple X bar back there. Check out my new shirt, by the way. Shirt my dad gave me. I like it. So, if you can see behind me, we have the X bar from PLM. I think it looks great, but best of all, it is a functional piece. There's different companies that make similar stuff like this. There's PLM, there's Miracle X, and of course you can get some eBay stuff as well. But I think PLM is a good way to go, because it's a great company. When you receive it, they sent the X bar already pre-assembled. You're not going to be able to just bolt it on. And I'll explain that to you in a second, because everything's adjustable. You're going to have to do some adjusting. But at least they give it to you pre-assembled, so you know where everything goes when you tear it apart. And it also, this being the EK, they send 2 different bolts that's specific for the mounts on top, because it's going to go through your strut towers on both sides, and it's also going to go to your seatbelt mounts on top. So you're not gonna use seatbelts, but if you're putting this, it's because race car, right? So they do supply 2 hardened bolts for that specific mount for your car. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about how I put this together. If you think you're gonna grab this out of the box and just put it on, you're gonna be mistaken. I definitely was. So let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. So you can see you got the X, you got the cross bar there, and then you have the one that connects from the top to bottom. Alright, sorry about that noise. That's the heater kicking on. It's very cold around here. So it's gonna come assembled like this in the box. They ship it very well. I'm very happy with that. You get the eBay stuff, everything's gonna come in pieces and bags, and you're gonna have to try to figure out how it goes together. So at least when they ship it as a whole, you know that everything's there. It's easy for accountability, and you know how it's going to get put together. So the first thing you want to do when you get out of the box, put it on the floor. I put it on the floor, I laid it out, unbolted all the pieces. I undid everything on the floor, and I had it on the floor like an exploded diagram. So you can the first thing you're going to want to do is put your mounts here. Install that. So you're going to want to undo this, undo this, undo this, and undo that. So you're going to want to just have the X and mount here. After you do the X, you're going to install the bolts up here. You're gonna want to put these. You're gonna want to adjust this right here. Get this installed, because you're gonna have to get this installed. You're gonna have to put the nut through here, and then put your bolt across and into here. So you're gonna want to get your X part first. Once you get your X part first, you start putting the top bar, the bottom bar, the side bars, and again, everything is adjustable. You may have to bring it out a couple of inches on one side or both sides. But again, the best thing to do is tear everything apart. Have the X tied to the feet. Install that. Install that. That's going to be kind of dangling over. Install the brackets to the car first, and then the bolts, and then tie everything else together. And just start putting it together. It's not that hard. It seems like a pain in the ass, but it's not that bad. So I want to go ahead and just kind of get the video over everything, so you can kind of also get a visual of how things go together here. But yeah, it's not that bad. It's just tear it all apart and put it together as you bolt it to the car. Everything is gonna have to be adjusted. They when they ship it, they kind of pack all the bolts nice and tight so it fits in a smaller box by a few inches. So you're gonna want to adjust them. I know some people do not put the washers, and I don't recommend I don't recommend doing not putting the washers. I recommend that you go ahead and put them on. I mean, there's a plan for a reason, so put them on. It's not that hard. Use some pliers. You have to twist it to align things to kind of give you some leverage. But get those washers in there. You'll figure it out quickly that it's not that bad. I mean, if you're doing it for, for looks and whatever, but that's on you. But I mean, put the parts that they give you. So let's go ahead and give you a little look over on how it's assembled, and check it out. Because I know when I was looking on installing this thing, I was trying to get visuals on videos on how things were put together. I don't know if I had the feet backward or not. I don't know which direction the bolts went, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a little, not necessarily a B-roll, but kind of like a little glance over with the video, so you can kind of see how it's put together in my car. So it hopefully help you put it in your car. So okay, you got the X bar, top, bottom, side, Here's the right foot. Here is the left. Top left. Top right. You got the top bar there, adjustability there. You got the X bar, swallowed there. You got the sidebars. So that's it. That is the PLM 3-point strut bar for the front, the X bar for the rear. I'm getting things a little confused here. I'm kind of got something else in my mind right now, but yeah, so that's it. I hope that was some helpful stuff to you. In about 2 or 3 weeks, I have a track day at Grange. What used to be known as Grange. I don't think it's called Grange anymore, but it's at Apple Valley Speedway. And so it'll be my first track event with the car. I hope it does well. We'll see. I don't expect everything to go perfect, but that's the whole purpose, to kind of give this thing a shakedown, see where's the weak points. I already know my weak points. I need a baffled oil pan, which I plan on doing later. I'm going to try to get the oil pressure sensor installed before that track day. I'm going to try. And I need limited slip differential, but that will be for another time. So anyways, check out that beautiful NSX, the EK. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe, and see you later.